Main idea of the text, go right to the text, just get a general sense of what it's about. In present-day Chiapas, Mexico, these people have located 41 smaller settlements surrounding the ancient Mesoamerican city of Izapa. The researchers have concluded that these settlements were culturally linked to Izapa because each of the settlements is the same age and configured in the same manner as Izapa, with a pyramid to the north and a plaza to the south. Their shared structural orientation suggests that residents of the settlements likely perform some of the same cultural ceremonies as residents in Izapa did. What's the main idea? The small linked to Izapa, right? That's it. The small places are linked to the big one. That's it. That's the whole thing, right? They say shared a bunch. These centers are culturally linked. They use linked, same manner, shared, same, right? That repeated ideas are main ideas. Okay. Researchers have determined that the arrangement of Izapa's structures was based on those of other nearby settlements. No, right? That's saying Izapa is based on the other places, right? So that's not what the passage is saying. This is absolutely a trap, right? Now, I could probably just keep this around because it is containing that same idea of two things being linked, but I instantly noticed that it's a trap because, I don't know, I'm tuned into that, but like they are hoping that you pick this without reading choices B, C, and D, because it does kind of say there's a link between these two places, but it's reversing it. It's saying that Izapa is copying the smaller places, but the passage is saying the smaller places are copying Izapa. So you got to be careful of that. Let's move on for now. Let's see. I think when we get the right answer, you'll see the difference. B, cultural ceremonies in Izapa seem to have played a more important role, for its residents than those in smaller surrounding settlements. No, they're not contrasting these two places, right? This is a comparison choice, right? And it's bringing in something that we just didn't talk about. We weren't comparing them and saying which one had more important ceremonies. Like it just doesn't, that's not what this is about. C, although archaeologists have learned much about Izapa over years of research, they've only recently found the smaller settlements that surrounded it. I mean, I could go check if that's true, but I'm already pretty skeptical because this is bringing in the concept of time. Something happened recently, it happened a long time ago, what happened first, second, third, but like I don't remember the passage really focusing on an ordering of events. So my memory is already like, this wasn't about the timing of things. Now I could go back and they have located the 41 smaller settlements. It doesn't say that was recent. It doesn't say when that was at all, right? So there you go. Time was not mentioned. Get rid of it. D, researchers have inferred that Izapa was related, good word, to the smaller settlements that surrounded it based in part on the similarity of their construction. Notice, this is saying basically what A is saying, but without any direction, right? It's just saying they're related to each other. They're coming together on equal terms, right? That is a safer choice than choice A, which is taking the extra step of saying they're related, but they're related specifically in the way that Izapa is copying these other places. That is a much bigger claim. And this is very often how trap answers work on the SAT, is they take something that is absolutely true based on the passage, and they increase it a little bit, they up it, they just add a little extra something, and that extra something is wrong. But they're hoping that they can kind of sneak it by you because you are so focused on the part of the answer choice that is correct that you don't bother to look for anything that could be wrong. And it's really important to remember this for the PSAT and the SAT. A choice can be 90% correct, but if it is 10% wrong, it's 100% wrong. Right here, based on, that's our 10%. That makes choice A wrong. If they worded this slightly differently, maybe choice A could have been right. But the way it's worded, it's adding an extra dimension to this that we do not have evidence of in the passage. And it's a really great reminder of why you have to go through all the answer choices and actually evaluate them. Because many people who get this wrong and pick A didn't even bother reading B, C, and D. They made up their mind. And so they're not looking at these other choices because they're like, oh, I have to save time. But you can't do that. It's better to just run out of time on some questions than get something like this wrong. Because you can get this right if you just take the time with it and look at choice D. You're going to see that there's at least a similarity between those two choices. And then I think you'd notice what makes A worse.